Hey, good morning. Happy Saturday. We made it to the weekend. It's 4th of July weekend. It's just a 2-day weekend for me. I am using, since the 4th is Sunday, I'm using that flex holiday for next weekend. So I'm going to do a 3-day weekend next weekend, which is what I'm going to talk about today. It's a busy weekend. I'm doing a card show, and I forgot that I was going to the Cubs game on Friday. So I'm going to be putting a lot of miles because I'm actually going to drive back. I'll probably have to rejuvenate myself after a long day at Wrigleyville on Friday. Sleep off a hangover on Saturday, and Schaumburg is a 2-hour drive for me, so I'll have to be on the road at 5 a.m. Sunday morning. So I'll talk about that. I found some things, and I've talked about this in the past. I'll randomly find cards that I think are listed on eBay because I have these boxes here, and then up there's a couple. Those are all my eBay store boxes. And sometimes I'll be digging through and I'll think, why has this not sold? Because a lot of this stuff is pre-pandemic price. Like if it's older stuff, it's pre-pandemic prices because I don't go in and change prices on things. So when I find stuff and I'm like, why is this not sold? I'll look in my eBay store and it's no longer listed. It was probably, for some reason, it was not a good till canceled listing. So it just expired and it was still in my eBay box. So I'm going to have to do like an assessment because there's some stuff in there that is probably worth quite a bit more than what it was 2 years ago. So I'll show some of those cards. And why not? David and I were chatting yesterday, and I said, I've got my Bowman mega boxes that, I'm saving for future, maybe sell them sealed in a couple years when somebody breaks out. But I have to rip Bowman. So it's Saturday, it's a holiday weekend. Let's rip a box of the 2021 Bowman mega boxes. And I still have like 15 or 16, probably 14 or 15 now after I rip this one. My other Bowman mega boxes, he's finally said, yeah, I'll refund you, but he hasn't actually refunded me. He hasn't responded to the PayPal request. He has until like July 8th. He actually really ticked me off. So before he said, yeah, I'll refund you, I'm like, dude, just refund. It's still like, as of this morning, still the tracking June 14th was the last tracking. So his comment really ticked me off. He says, I've opened another case with USPS as they called after the first one and said to give the package a few more days. A few more? Come on, I've given it a month. He goes, believe me, man, I am just as upset as you, as I will be out of product and money if this package doesn't surface. Well, hey, buddy, me too. And I'm your freaking customers. That really pissed me off. So he had really sorry about this though. Well, it's probably out of his, I'm not upset. I'm upset with the USPS. I'm not upset with him as far as it's stuck. I'm upset with how he's handling the situation. Like if I were the seller, and my advice, if you're ever in this situation, well, first off, I'm pissed because, okay, I am pissed off with him with how he sent it media mail. I would never ever, and he's like, well, I've sent media mail and nothing ever is damaged. Well, remember the guy that was putting tracking on PWE with priority envelopes and nothing ever happened, but all of a sudden you could get a batch, you could send them out, those are priority tracking, and your customer is now dinged with $7 in postage due on a PWE. So yeah, even though he hasn't had any previous bad experience sending media mail, it's not it's against the USPS rules. It could show up and be a postage due for $30 because it's significantly cheaper. So I'm ticked that he sent it media mail. Now it's stuck in Kentucky, where it's been stuck for 3 weeks now with no tracking movement. no idea where he is, and he's now dragged. It's like, dude, just give me my money. It's been a month. Just give me a refund, and let's end it. So there is a PayPal dispute. He hasn't responded to that. He's been somewhat communicated. He pulled a vacation card on me, which I know everybody's on vacation this time of year, but that bothers me. It's just an overall a sucky situation. So hopefully that gets taken care of and can just end that transaction. So I'll get off my soapbox. Herman, what's up? Dan, good morning. Zach, what's up? Communication is the whole thing you can control. He's failing minute behind live. Yeah, and he's been somewhat communicative, but as soon as I dropped, can you just issue me a refund? And I've been up until he sent that most recent message with I'm out of product. Then I've still been, I've been firm. Like I haven't been rude. So he was initially the first couple weeks, he was very communicative, but then the moment I said refund, then all of a sudden he's on vacation and he has bad internet connection. And it's like, come on. So yesterday morning I sent a follow-up. Are you issuing a refund today? And guess what? He hasn't responded to that. Surprise, surprise. So no communication. So off my soapbox. We'll have better things to talk about with my Bowman Mega Rip here in a bit. Herman is sorting series too. Very nice. So I've been, thanks to Brad, I say that thanks Brad. Thanks to Brad. I haven't watched his yesterday show, but I think his Thursday show, he was talking about doing card shows. And, I do my monthly show. My monthly show this month is July 24th. And right before the National. And it's like, man, there's still like several weeks. I don't have June was pretty busy for me, but my July is a little slower. So I have some flexibility on weekends. So it's like, and my wife works like weekends being in real estate. That's like her like midweek is or a normal like office jobs midweek is like her weekend. Like that's when we're in town, she's showing houses. So I just find things to do. And it's like, you know what? I could try to make a couple $100, do a card show, get that bankroll built up even more for the National. So I was looking, so after Brad went live on Thursday, I was looking at the card show calendar for here in Wisconsin. There's a show in Milwaukee today. They were sold out of tables. My buddy Mark did get in because I guess there was a late cancel yesterday. So he was able to get a table. I won't be able to make it over there because I don't want to go and buy. Plus I have a lot of eBay shipments to get out. So I'm not going to do that, but I looked, so there was nothing in Wisconsin that matched with my schedule the rest of this month. So yesterday I'm like looking at Illinois, and I'm sure there's some northern suburbs, which, Milwaukee and like the northwest suburbs is pretty close to transit time for me since I'm on the west side. So there's a show in Schaumburg next Sunday, July 11th. And I'm like, Schaumburg's a really easy drive. It's all interstate. In fact, it's at the Hyatt Regency, which is right off. I think it's I-90 or 94. I get those confused. I think it's I-90. So it's like perfect. So I texted the guy. Joe is the promoter there. Texted me right back. And he's like, yeah, gave me a discount for 2 tables. And so we kind of had dialogue back and forth, told him about my show. He told me kind of the ins and the outs on his show. I tweeted it out. I had like 3 people say, yeah, it's a good show. I texted a guy who's a vendor at my show. I asked him, actually, before I booked the tables, I asked him, hey, is this a good show? He's like, yeah, it's a good show. So that gave me, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to book 2 tables. So that's next Sunday, July 11th, Hyatt on I-90 in Schaumburg. So I'm looking forward to doing that show. Going to bring all my bargain boxes. I can't fit them on 2 tables, but I don't like stacking. But in this case, I don't want to, buy a bunch of tables because that's overhead. My show, I can do that. If we have extra tables, I can pull one over if needed. But you know, when that's an overhead cost, you don't want to do that. So going to do that 2 tables. I'll bring all my bargain boxes, so that'll be fun. So if you're in the area, that area next Sunday, can't remember the hours. I think it's 9 to 3, maybe. I can't remember. Dan, and I think Dan said he's coming up. Yeah, Orland Park. I'd love to do Orland Park. That would Orland Park significantly further for me since it's on the south side. So that's a show that, like, back in the day when I was doing, and I say back in the day, like 15 years ago when I was doing shows more, I was living in Macomb. So, I mean, it was always Chicago. Now I'm in a good spot because I'm close to Milwaukee, close to Chicago. So I have many more options than when I'm in the cornfields of West Central Illinois. So I would do, back then, I would do Peoria and Springfield mainly. But me and my buddy Dave, who we did a lot of shows with down there, we always talked about doing an Orland Park show. In fact, one of my buddies who lives up in the Gurnee area, he lived in that area. In fact, I think he worked in Orland Park. So he did the Orland Park show a lot. So that's a show that I'd like to get to, but I think it'd probably be like maybe a weekend palooza, where I do like a Saturday, Sunday show. Cause I think, is Orland Park on Sundays? I can't remember. So I'd like to get to Orland Park at some point. Schaumburg is only a 35-minute drive from Sox Park. Peoria, shout out. Yeah, Tom. We did there was a show, and there still may be a show right there on the river. Is it the River Center? I think it's the River Center. Right there on the river. Last show I did there was, I had just moved to Madison, so it was probably in 2014, the last Peoria show I did. And I remember I had bought, this predated my Cubs project. So I was selling Cubs. And this was when Chris Bryant was super hot. And I had bought, before he was still hot, but not super hot, Riverplex. Thank you. I had bought a lot of Heritage Miners Chris Bryant singles for like 50 cents to $1 each. And I sold most of them at that show for like $5 a piece. So that's the one thing that I remember about the Riverplex show. Sunday show, can go to the Cubs game with your earnings. There you go. I like that. They did one before the pandemic, but I haven't seen one there since. Okay. And I know they've done, 2014 was the last one I did. I know my buddy Dave did them in the ensuing years. I had kind of got out of the show. I think 2014, that was probably one of the last shows I did until last year. I don't think I did any shows between 2014 and 2020. The last show I did was before the pandemic, was right before the pandemic in February of 2020. They have done a few at the mall. That one is always fun. I was just thinking about that because there's a mall show in, I think, Peru, which is a pretty easy drive. It's 2.5 hours for me. But I don't like mall shows because they're usually like 3-day things. And for mall shows, it's not, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a destination. Like, I wouldn't be going to a card show, a mall show. I remember growing up as a kid, we would just randomly go to the mall, and all of a sudden it was a card show, and that was cool. And I think you get a lot of the randomness of, customers. And maybe that was the thought process, because I'm sure mall shows developed in the 80s when malls were a thing. Malls aren't really a thing, so you don't have that traffic. And that's when I was growing up, late 80s, early 90s. Malls were still kind of a booming destination for shoppers, and now it's not. So I tend to stay away from mall shows. In fact, the Rockford show that I did, that's why they wanted to, a different promoter came along, and they're like, we don't want to do the mall shows. We want to have a separate thing. And I think that was a good idea. Before I get to the mega box break, I talked about going through and finding some random cards. So a couple of weeks ago or last week, I was going through my 2018. I'd sold a couple 2018 cards. I have everything by year in my eBay boxes, and I found two of these Juan Sotos. This one has like foil loss, and then the actual foil up there in the corner. So I'm like, I can't believe these haven't sold, because these were probably in my eBay store for $2 or $3. And I looked, they were not in my eBay store, and I think these sell for about $15 now. So I'm going to get those listed. Another one I found was this Vlad Guerrero trending. These are like a poor man's insert. These do not sell well. I don't know what this sells for now. I'm pretty sure, I haven't looked, but I don't think this is in my eBay store anymore. That was probably $1 or $2 at one time. And then I found Mr. Ohtani, who blasted 2 more home runs. Ohtani Bowman rookie. I was selling these like I had tons and tons of these and Topps Update, and I sold most of them at really low prices. And I think like the Bowman rookies are like probably one of the least, I mean, I guess of the mainstream brands, not like, because there's other stuff that people don't want, but like Bowman rookies just don't have much value. But that Ohtani, the Ohtani Bowman, sells for anywhere between 10 and 20. It's probably closer to 20 now because of his performance last night. So I may have to look closer at like my 2017 and 18 box, because that seems to be where a lot of my listings expired, and I just didn't pull those cards, which worked out well for me because I've found some of those. So let's rip some Bowman. Bowman Mega Box. I've got I listed, so what was it? So last week I think I hit some buttons when I did that. So last week I did the file exchange, and I did 110 auctions using file exchange, and that was all Bowman Chrome and Bowman Mega singles. So I had about 20 or 30 that didn't sell, probably closer to 20 that didn't sell. Actually, no, it was closer to 30, because I think I sold 75 of one. No, I sold 80 out of 110. So 30, yeah. 30 did not sell. Going to save the megas for the last rip. So then last night I was on the couch. We had dinner. What my aunt and uncle are in town. So we had a big went out. There was a big group of us, went out for dinner. After dinner, wife and I were just on the couch watching Jeopardy, and I'm like, I'm just gonna relist these auctions. 7-day Friday night, but they're they didn't sell for 99 cents. Who cares when they end, right? So I woke up this morning, and like 10 of the 30 that I relisted that didn't sell in a 7-day auction period have bids less than 12 hours after listing. That's one thing. Never trust auctions, and auctions are not the true. Some people say auctions are the true, that tells you how exactly what the market feels at that moment. And that's completely false in my opinion, because like I've said before, some auctions end at 1 a.m. Some auctions, it's all about timing. If you had an Ohtani auction end on Thursday night compared to tonight, that the sales are going to be different, because right now you hit the popularity, whereas Thursday you don't. It's a 7-day window, so you're only capturing people that are looking for that card within a 7-day window, whereas a buy it now that's just up there, it can be listed for a year and then all of a sudden it sells. Whereas if you put it on an auction, nobody will see it in that 7-day period, or they don't want it. So I'm not a big auction fan. So why am I running auctions? Because I want the additional traffic, and I've got so much Bowman it's just all about liquidation. And sometimes you will get a higher price on an auction sale than a buy it now, which I had a few cards sell in my auctions that ended Wednesday night. Blaze Jordan Futurist insert. I have like 3 of those in my eBay store for $4. but the one at auction sold for like 6. And there were a couple other instances. Now, some sold for like 99 cents at the opening bid, where they might sell for $2 in the eBay store. So you're going to lose out on some. You're going to win on some. Overall, I'm just not a big fan, depending on who it is. If it's a new product right at release, I'm a big fan of the 24-hour auction. Spend that extra $1 for the listing, and you can capture, because everybody's looking for the new product. But if it's been out a few weeks, I tend not to. Bowman Sapphire, I've got some stuff that it's like, should I just run an auction? And I may do it. Like tomorrow night, I may do some Bowman Chrome Sapphire auctions just to liquidate. So that's my thought. Let's get to some ripping. 2021 Bowman. I open the packs. I'm not a big fan of, some people sell the packs. Not me. I love Bowman. I'm just going to put them away in a box. The Chrome I'll probably auction. There's an Evan White rookie. Leody Taveras. And we've got Chrome is Colton Welker. Chrome. Oh, it's a first. Going to have to sleeve Kevin Alcantara. We've got Brett Beatty of the Mets, Jackson Rutledge, and Forrest Whitley. So we need to sleeve up old Mr. Kevin Alcantara. He was, I believe, my first Bowman auto or Bowman hit in 2021. I think I pulled like a blue refractor out of my, I don't know if it's the hobby box or the retail box, but I have opened a ton of Bowman this year. I forget. Ian Anderson rookie, Nick Madrigal rookie, Garrett Crochet, is that Altuve? There we go. Marco Feliciano for the with the base chromes. Where'd I put those? There they are. Got to sleeve up these chrome firsts. Now, usually I do sleeve up all the chromes when I open, but since I'm live, I don't want to bore you with sleeving all these cards. There's Pete Alonso. Machado. There's another rookie, Luis Garcia, Sixto Sanchez, Yordan Alvarez. We've got a chrome of Corbin Carroll, Anthony Volpe. I like what's on the back. Here he is, Mr. Cub, Ed Howard. Ed Howard. I do, by the way, I need to update my count. I've had several more Cubs cards come in. I still haven't opened the pack of Cubs that David sent with the Sapphire boxes that I got on Monday. I got a big box yesterday from last name Brooks, so I'm going to have to go through my messages or just open the box. I've got a couple that I haven't opened, so I need to do that at some point this weekend. Get that count, because I'll take the Cubs cardometer to Schaumburg next Sunday, and I need to have an update. So I might be up to 650,000. Excuse me, for next Sunday's show. I'm at what, 648.1 somewhere around, I think 648,134 plus what I get plus one there for Javi Baez. Make sure I put him in the need to add to the count pile. Bryce Jarvis Chrome and another Brewer, Freddie Zamora. So we got 2 Chrome firsts out of the base, and there's a Trent DeVoe. One of his, I think I had a Trent Devo first Chrome at auction that didn't sell, which it's always surprising when those first Chromes don't sell at 99 cents, free shipping. So let's get to the mega packs. So that was a pretty decent base packs with 2 Chromes and paper. So we've got Eddie Diaz, and that's a first Mojo. Another first, Antonio Gomez. A futurist insert is that, that's Corbin Carroll. It's not numbered. Sometimes you have to really look closely because the numbers can be hidden if it's a parallel. And especially if it's a color, like purple is pretty close to what those futurists look like. So Austin Hendrick and CJ Abrams. So I will set these because I'm going to have to sleeve those. So we got a first of Antonio Gomez and Eddie Diaz. So that's good. Looks like we've got a first at the bottom here. So we've got Garrett Mitchell. I have had really terrible luck with these mega boxes. That's why it's like, why do I keep opening? Dylan Carlson, Rookie of the Year favorites. Oh, what's up, Terry? Good morning. There's a Jose Tena first and a Jake Vogel first. So hey, not bad. We got several firsts. But again, no hits, which I have been like absolutely, where's my sleeves at? I have been absolutely skunked on these Bowman Megas, and I wonder if it's because I bought these secondary, if they were weighed. That's what I'm kind of concerned about, because I have opened, oh man, I think I pulled an auto out of the batch I got from Target, but I've opened about 20 to 25 boxes since and have not pulled a single auto. And the odds are like 1 in 7.5 boxes. So I have been like absolutely skunked. And I've heard there are, you can weigh them, and the auto boxes weigh a little bit more. So that's my concern, is buying on the secondary market. Don't, because they could have been weighed and they don't have hits. So I have pulled some color. I don't know if the colors are heavier, but it seems to be the autos are heavier. So so that sucks. So I'll probably throw these on auction Sunday night. Maybe do some Sapphire Sunday night auctions. So that's what I had for today. Don't have anything else. I'm gonna try to. I've got some blogging ideas. I just don't have the time to blog, and that's why I started Hobby Evolution last year. It's coming up on the 1 year mark, because this was episode 323, and I've missed how many days? I've probably missed now 15 days, maybe 20 days. So it's coming close to a year. I think in August I started, because actually it's probably end of July. I'll have to go back to see when I recorded the first one, because I remember the first day I missed was early on, because I went to my brother's cabin, and I think that was toward the end of August, and I had been doing several by that point. Now I don't do every day, because I'm back in the office. So this was pretty easy, because my commute was just upstairs to my home office. Now I have a commute, so I have to go earlier. I have to go like 15 to 30 minutes earlier than normal. So sometimes I don't want to wake up 30 minutes earlier. I'd rather get that sleep, even though I'm a morning person. So I'll have to check to see when the first episode was, because I have skipped several shows now, because I've been back it's been 1 month now back in the office. People ask, what's it like being back in the office? And it's, I really enjoyed working from home, but I also really enjoy being out of the home. So I like to be around people, and sometimes when I'm just stuck in my own head, it can be depressing, I guess is one way to put it. My wife's here, my dog was here, so that was good. But my wife's working too, so talking to the dog. So now I have coworkers, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, that commute, that 10-step commute was pretty nice too. So that's what I had for today. Hobby Hotline is coming up in about 45 minutes on their channel, the Hobby Hotline YouTube channel. I think it must be next week, Hobby Palooza. I don't know much about Hobby Palooza. I think it's all on YouTube on the various channels. But I know Hobby Hotline is starting it next Saturday. Yeah, it must be July 10th. So that'll be pretty cool. The content, I think it's like 10 to 10 is how they're doing it. I think it's Saturday, Sunday. So that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, that's what I have going on today in the hobby. I'm just going to be shipping. I think I have 125 eBay shipments from all my auctions, and some store sales over the last couple days that I need to get caught up on. David's Pirates, I'm going to get yours in the mail. I've got some other packages that I need to work on, so got to get that stuff done. So have a great Saturday, And I will be back live tomorrow, probably closer to 9 tomorrow. I would guess. I don't know, maybe same time. Who knows? Usually on the weekends I go between 8 and 9. So I will be live tomorrow, probably somewhere between 8 a.m. 9 a.m. For the week. It's just kind of up in the air, day by day. I'm day by day during the week. Friday, I'm heading down to Chicago. I will probably, I'm trying to think, I still have to make plans for like travel. Like, am I just gonna, I'll probably go to Crystal Lake. That's where my friend lives, near Crystal Lake. So I'll probably just drive there, take the train in. So doing the math in my head here. So probably, so yeah, I'll probably do, similar 6:45 7 a.m. on Friday, before I head to Chicago. So there won't be a show Saturday. There won't be a show Sunday because I'll be commuting to Schaumburg for the card show. So I'll do a recap. Depending on everything, I may go live on Sunday night. Probably not though, because I'll have a 2-hour commute back. So I'd probably just plan on a card show review next Monday. What would that be? The 12th. So that's kind of the plan. So yeah, I'll be at Schaumburg next Sunday, July 11th, for the card show at the Hyatt Regency on I-90. My card show is at the Sheraton Hotel, Madison, Wisconsin, on Saturday, July 24th. Having dialogue for something. I don't know if it's going to work out, so I'm not going to say anything. But we are doing some different things behind the scenes. So this is kind of our first. We've done some exploration on this potential. Now there's some dialogue. If it happens, obviously I'll let you know. But yeah, we are planning some stuff behind the scenes for our next show, July 24th, Madison Sheraton Hotel, right before the National. So if you're a vendor, let me know. Get that extra cash for the National. Or hey, if you want to buy something, come on out. It'll be a good show. So Schaumburg, July 11th, Madison, Wisconsin, July 24th. So that's all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk tomorrow.